Alright, so I'm going to do a tutorial on how to do sidechain compression with a actual compressor, and the compressor we're going to be using today is a fruity limiter, which actually has a built-in compressor function in it. So to start off, we're going to load up a kick, and I'm really not going to pick out any kick here. I'm just going to get a random kick. So let's get this sound right here. Let me get out Nexus here, and then we're just gonna put a random note. Nothing really fancy here. First off, whatever you're sidechaining, or instruments, percussion, whatever you want to sidechain, make sure it's already in a mixer tab. So on the mixer tab, you're gonna want to put fruity limiter on the very bottom of the channel of the thing you're gonna sidechain. So here we have this. But before you do anything, you're gonna want to go to where you have the kick, which I have it labeled already, and then you're gonna want to right click and then put sidechain to this track, and then over here on the compressor section of the limiter, we're gonna change it to sidechain input number 1, and I think the input number changes depending on what channel you have the kick on. So first things first, we're gonna load up a kick, simple 4/4 pattern. We're just gonna put it in the playlist here, and we're gonna get our note, put it the same way. And in fact, we don't need this much, but so you're also gonna make sure, because the way this little mixer thing works, everything isn't in order. Depending on the order of this is what effect is gonna be put first and second and third and fourth. So imagine you have an EQ here, EQ in the raw sound, and then you have some reverb going on the EQ'd sound, and then you might have some compression on the third one, compressing all of that. Or I usually put the reverb outside of the compression because compressed reverb sounds kind of bad sometimes. So you're usually going to want to put this on the very bottom. That way you could compress everything, like the reverbs, the delays, whatever else you have in here. You're always going to want to put this on the very bottom. To get that sidechain compression, we're just gonna go to song mode here so we could play what's in our playlist. We're looking at this little sound wave here. We're gonna turn down the threshold, and threshold is where the sidechain compressor starts actually kicking in. If you know the basics of compression, you'll understand what I'm saying here. So basically you put the threshold here, once the volume hits here, it'll start working. Like right here, it will not work, like on this little section right here. But right here it will, since there is compression going on. All these different values are up to you. I'm not telling you to put it at exactly this or exactly that. For example, I'm just going to put it like about right here. And the ratio is also how much it's getting compressed. And I'm just going to simplify this in that way, is how much it's actually like pushing it down, pushing back down the sound. The way the math works is I think it's for every 2 dB, and you can see in the corner 1 dB comes out, or for every 3 dB 1 dB comes out. Well, let's make this dramatic, I guess, for tutorial's sake. The release and the attack are also vital parts of this. The release is basically, it really depends on your kick. So if you want like the side chain to be like really short and choppy, you're gonna want to bring down the release, like just to make room. Let's say you just want to make room for the attack of the kick, but not for the body of the kick for some reason, right? So you're gonna want to turn it down just pretty low, I guess. But if you're looking for the whole kick, I mean, it also varies with the length of the kick. You're gonna want to turn up the release kind of high. Let's see this in action. So here we go. All that purple section right there is what's being compressed. So you see, the more we bring down the threshold, the more it gets compressed, and also the less the ratio, the less compression. Now let's mess with our release, and you can see the purple is slowly getting smaller, so that there's less amount of volume, or less length of volume actually being compressed. So let's put this really all the way, and you can see it's a very long compression we have right here. And you could just mess with these all you want. And that's really the basics of getting um, sidechain compression with our Fruity limiter here. I already did a tutorial with our P controller before, so if you want to check that out, I will post a link at the end of this video if you want to learn a little more about the P control. And I probably will do an updated video on it because there was a lot of things I actually missed out on. So I will do an updated video on how to sidechain with this P control right here and some of its many other features. And I hope you enjoyed our basics into sidechain compression. If you want any tutorials, leave a comment. Any questions, leave a comment. You could also message me on YouTube on the private messaging system. But all in all, I hope you enjoyed the video. Later.